take a real optimist to come here tonight believing that their side will get through to the next phase of the UEFA Cup, which will start the first week in March. That will be the last 16.
It's going to be interesting to see just how their coach sends them out. Initially, right at the start of the game, Martin, will he ask his team to fly at Arsenal, try and catch them cold, try and catch them early, and maybe just surprise them? Or will he just say, no, let's take it as a game and let's try and win it?
This stadium that was built for the European Championships in 1984, tournament that France won, and very much part of the mix geographically for the World Cup finals in the summer of '98. Kanu was here for a match with Nigeria, though he didn't get on the pitch against Spain. And Davor Šuker will surely remember scoring a winning goal for Croatia against Japan in the Stade de la Beaujoire.
Numéro 10, Antoine. Numéro 11, Diego. Numéro 13, Mathieu. Numéro 14, Mehdi.
Manu Petit, who came off prematurely 2 weeks ago and is still protecting that damaged knee.
Numéro 4, Samuel. Numéro 16, Willy. Numéro 23, Sébastien. Numéro 27, Pierre.
Gilles Grimondi got Arsenal off on the right foot at Leicester on Saturday. An excellent performance, a terrific result. And Grimondi has been telling us he's got a very good record on this ground, never having lost in his time as a player with Monaco. Andy, the players yesterday, you didn't pop down to the training last night, but they weren't happy with the pitch. It cut up badly. It's on the heavy side. They've repaired some of the scars from last night's activities, but expect more to develop.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, it has rained quite a bit recently in the area. A lot of water has fallen on the pitch. But, I mean, I think it's a pitch they're unused to back home, because such of the quality of the Premiership pitches, and particularly Highbury, Martin, that they aren't used to this. And I think it will cut up. You can even see around you, particularly the end that the Nantes players are at. It's already beginning to get a little bruised looking. But hey, that's football. Got to cope with all conditions.
Patrick Vieira's got a particular pal in the Nantes team, Sibierski. They were colleagues in the French under-21 set up for a while. And Patrick got Sibierski an Arsenal shirt, but it wasn't Vieira's, it was Bergkamp's. So Nantes to start the second leg here. They contributed to the entertainment level in North London 2 weeks ago. But they are a lightweight team, a young team, a club that produces through the ranks and has to sell players on because of the financial constraints here. And as we pointed out to you already, they're way down, just above the relegation zone in the French First Division. They've not scored a goal in their last 3 games, and Arsenal have scored 15 in the last 5. Winterburn, who was really responsible for the late flurry that gave Arsenal their position of prominence going into the second leg. Super second goal.
Yeah, until the sending off of Chanellet, was it, Martin, late on in that match. At 1-0, they were sitting pretty comfortably. No, sending off really did change the match and shift it in Arsenal's favour.
Grimondi sitting alongside Tony Adams tonight. Dixon and Winterburn, the experienced fullbacks, and Freddie Ljungberg, who has completed his domestic suspension, unlike Vieira, is able to be involved, of course, in Europe. Thierry Henry, another member of the French set, in red and white tonight.
Just looking at Nantes early on, man, see what they're trying to do. It looks like Sibierski and Darosha are going to play as a front two, maybe one off the other. A bit sloppy start from them. The Toure, number 7, wide on the right. Bustos on the left. So So it's pretty much a 4-4-2 system at the moment they've set out with.
Adams. He does play he likes to play off one, Sobieski, hence the desire to get Bergkamp's shirt, I think. Oh, and it's Petit just losing his balance, and that allowed the challenge to come in from Leroy. Otherwise, there was a chance of an Arsenal break right through the centre then.
He was a little unlucky. He joined the play beautifully. Right on key, right on time. Very, very unfortunate to lose his footing. I tell you, had he gone clear, Martin, they weren't catching him.
Adams. Lee Dixon with that goal at Leicester to mark his 400th league game for Arsenal. Only half a dozen players of all time have reached that particular landmark. Kanu. Fluidly making ground. Overmars! He hit that very well, as did Petit following up. First time the block, second time the save.
Yeah, brilliant strike. Right foot, beautifully struck. And I tell you what, Alombe is on the ball, recovered quickly, Martin. But he even felt that. Great block with the young lad.
Just hooked away from Besson by Petit.
Just.
Always given offside.
Just. Sauvignon just stepped up. Sorry, Martin. Sauvignon did step up just in time. Got it just about right. But the volley from Overmars was a beautiful one. Kanu did brilliantly and managed to whip a great ball back. Anywhere else, that's probably going in. Second one was more comfortable from Petit.
There was one result in this competition on Tuesday that both teams have taken notice of. That involved Lyon from France, who were 3-0 up and went to Germany to play Werder Bremen and lost 4-0. So we pointed up the Lens result tonight. That's another one. Things sometimes happen in threes, but Arsenal won't thank me for even suggesting it.
Great line they held there. Arsenal back four. We shouldn't be surprised at that, man, but it was brilliant.
Out comes Landreau.
Well, if you're going to commit yourself, you've got to get there. You got there, you can't argue with it. That makes his decision a good one. You see the pitch is cutting up already, Martin.
Vieira, who certainly can do with the outing, with his long absence from the Premiership, and indeed the FA Cup, which Arsenal joined on Monday. They play at home to Blackpool, a match that's been moved from the Saturday, obviously couldn't be played on Sunday because Tottenham are at home to Newcastle. So the Arsenal fans will have that Monday evening ringed in their diaries, and we'll be able to see the relevant action in our Monday night programme of that game, where we feature Ipswich against Southampton as the live match. Besson, who describes himself a bit as an English type of player, taken on by Sobieski. Russia making ground into the centre. Cross goes Winterburn. Carrière. Touré with the chance, beaten out by Maninga. Oh, he was able to find the follow-up coming within his reach, but a lovely piece of football from Nantes.
Oh, this was great play. What a break. Sobieski at the heart of it, Martin, in the beginning. But they shift it really well, right across the pitch. And Touré hits a very, very good shot. That's brilliant goalkeeping. Absolutely top class. And I think it was Carrière coming in late. I'm surprised it was such a poor finish. I think he's better than that. Just stabbed at the ball when it needed a more positive strike. Really good goalkeeping. Stood up, strong right hand from Alex Maninga.
Sobieski at the heart of an example of what Nantes are looking for here. Down goes Carrière. The referee is from Holland, incidentally. We haven't mentioned him yet. Jan Vegereef.
Well, watch this, man. Watch the right hand here. Watch how it comes out. Solid, strong. But here, look, he's just stabbed with the outside of the foot. You know, he needed to come in and really strike it. I think he even had time to take 2 touches. got a good feel to it this game.
Olembe playing it right back. He's left-footed. Part of the injury difficulties that Nantes have, and their coach Reynald Denouix, who does believe in the philosophy of passing and moving. They have a reputation within French football, not just this current crop, but down the years, of wanting to look for results the right way, if you like. Certainly an eye-catching way.
That's only 4 years, is it, since we're champions, Mark? So we have been there at the very highest level.
Out by Leroy, Sibierski. Not sure if he was playing it to Leroy. There was Bustos waiting on the far side. Vieira seizes it back. Carnu. Henry wants it played quickly into the centre. Not sure that it was on in the end, so Carnu goes his own way.
He loves that drag back, doesn't he? That little drag as he goes to beat the player. It's almost if he steps beyond the ball and then drags it after him.
Not nicknamed the Canaries. They're fluttering their wings here. Bustos. This is Tarosha. Sibierski looking for the cutback. Oh, and appeals that Petit handled. Played out by Ljungberg. Overmars. Good stop by Savino.
Oh, the crowd are enjoying this. They see their team playing quite well, troubling Arsenal.
That was a robust challenge by Adams. He indicated he got the ball. The referee, fortunately for the Arsenal captain, shared his opinion. Toure. Adams there first again. That's the problem, keeping the balance on this soft surface. Sibierski. Savino, one of the centre-backs, has gone through the middle. Manninger taking no chances. It probably would have gone wide of the post.
But Carnu earlier, well, this is a Sibierski shot. It's a long way out, it's ambitious, but he started very positively. He arrived as one of the men at Highbury a couple of weeks ago, Mark, with probably a bigger reputation than most of them. We thought he would influence the game. He didn't really, but he has done more, I feel, in the opening 10 minutes of this match in his contribution than he did at Highbury.
Foul by Grimaldi.
No argument there.
Toure. Vieira.
Again.
I wonder.
Well, Savino, this near side, you and I would, with the way the pitch is cut, Martin, it shows good lines, and I tell you, that must have been very close. They are taking a chance for me, no. They're playing so high up the pitch at the back. I mean, well, surely Overmars and Henry's pace can't have gone unnoticed, particularly Henry's, the French side, but they are taking a chance that they're not going to get caught.
Toure. Sibierski, found by Carrière. Still Carrière. Very neat and progressive through the middle third of the pitch. Can they pack a punch? Not scored in their 2 league games since the first leg at Highbury. Drew 0-0 against Sedan. That was an away game, a rerun of the French Cup final of last season. A success that got Nantes into this tournament. And then last Friday they were beaten here 1-0 by Saint-Etienne. Gillet.
I'll tell you, they're neat and tidy at times, aren't they? Got some busy players. I mean, Ljungberg's having a little whack here, but I simply think he was out-foxed, Martin. A little bit of skill here. And he's passed him, and you can't argue that's a free kick, surely. Well, I wonder, Sibierski, as I said, has had a pretty important and good 10 minutes, 11 minutes. He's certainly just off the free kick. Touch and hit, maybe.
if it is to be touched to him, it's Leroy over the ball. Ljungberg, who gave away the free kick, is preparing to do the charging. Sobieski, great goal! 12 minutes gone. It was quite straightforward, but when it came, it was simply splendid from Sobieski.
No surprise, the scorer. I talked about him. I said he's influenced the match. He's done that. He wanted the free kick. He fancied his chances. Well, it's beaten on goalkeeper's side, but it's a gloriously struck free kick, Martin. It's got a little bit of bend away from Manninger. Catches the inside of the post. Oh, it's past him before he moves. Beautiful strike. I wonder.
The message from the Nantes camp when we arrived here yesterday was the first thing to do is get the first goal, and then we'll see. Well, they've got the first goal, and now we will see. Olembe.
Well, I said it's got a good feel about it, the game, and it had, and I expected an open game. Thought Nantes would have a go. They certainly started brightly. Without over-committing, I think they've been absolutely sensible in the way they've gone about it. But a beautiful free kick. Simplicity itself. 4-yard set and a glorious strike.
Henry. Very important for Nantes, of course, not to concede in this chase, which, as Andy has suggested, is being quick but controlled as well. Because an Arsenal away goal here, and Nantes would need to score overall 5 on the night. Grimandi and Henry, but to run through to Landreau. Olembe, charged down by Winterberg, came back to Olembe again.
Confident bunch, Nantes. Like that, the young players, as you've said, almost schoolboy-like, some of them in their make-up, their stature, but they're very confident on the football pitch. All look happy with the ball at their feet.
Henry. Landreau's only real problem was to make sure that he retained the ball without conceding a corner. There was no Arsenal player challenging him.
No, it wasn't a great cross, was it? From Henry. But we saw him skin Robbie Savage in that kind of area at Leicester at the weekend. He's very good when he gets wide, 1v1, Thierry Henry. And I was speaking to Arsene Wenger, and I was asking him after that game what he felt Henry was, what his best position was. Was it a front man? Was it a wide player? He says, well, Henry's like, Thierry's like most players. If he plays well up front, he thinks he's a front man. If he plays badly up front, he thinks he's a winger.
Gillet. Here's Vieira.
I wonder about this. Which way is he going to go? Is it Vieira getting booked, Martin? Oh, no, it's not.
No, it's
I just wondered there, you know, the referee took his time. He was a bit theatrical, Patrick. Watch this. The boy goes in, he goes, he leaves it. There was a touch there, and Vieira gets a free kick.
And Savino, the only non-player coming into this game with a yellow card for previous European competition this season, now has his second. Three, and you're suspended. Of course, the second in this game, he'd be off.
No, anything you can do can. Petit, and I imagine it will be Petit. Left footer that side would be the favoured one. Or does he fancy it?
Petit does, and the goalkeeper hangs on theatrically. Mindful of the need for Nantes, tries to get it forward quickly, but lost a little bit of accuracy in that. Petit having to be the last defender at the moment, certainly on this near side. Now Winterburn is back. Came off Dixon, uncharacteristic mistake from him. This is the man from Argentina, Bustos, in towards Da Rocha, got in there first. Broke to Touré. Arsenal hearts beating a little quickly at the moment.
Yeah, just one or two nerves. Good strike from Emmanuel Petit, but Mikel Landreau in goal. We talked about him 2 weeks ago, not the biggest, and really that's a very comfortable save. That one for the scrapbook, that one for the photographers behind the goal, I think. I'll have a couple of copies of that, please.
These days, I guess it's one for the video,
yeah.
Isn't it?
Showing my age.
Just an hour's flight here from Luton Airport yesterday afternoon. And a very relaxed Arsenal party travelling with them. Now they're being put to the test. They have lost one of their 3 goals. That was the cushion when they set out here at the Stade de la Beaujoire tonight. Nantes lead on the night. Arsenal 3-1 to the good on aggregate. Touré couldn't quite take it on and maybe have a chance of attacking Adams with the ball.
What a ball from Elombe, Martin, tucked into his left foot and just dinked a beautiful ball into Touré's path. If he could only have collected it, he was driving at the last defender.
Kanu aiming to drift away from his defensive markers, and he did that quite unchallenged. Vieira.
Ooh. Well, it's 1, Martin, but for a brilliant save from the goalkeeper, Alex Manninger, it might well be 2.
This for place in the last 16 of the UEFA Cup. Borussia Dortmund, Werder Bremen and Juventus got through on Tuesday. 13 more ties to be sorted out tonight. The draw next Wednesday. Touré. What a... Oh, it must be!
Oh, how's he missed
Da
it?
Rocha. I was going to say what a cross, then what a chance, and then a goal, but it wasn't.
Oh my goodness, what a chance. What play from Touré wide right. That's a magnificent cross in. Lee Dixon's got all sorts of problems. You don't think he can get it up that high, that quickly. I mean, what is he, 4 yards out? Oh, what a chance. Out of jail, Arsenal, out of jail.
Vieira really drilling it up to Henry. Well, Andy, you said it could have been 2. That could have been 3. And we've had just 20 minutes.
Wow, what a chance, Martin. It's a great ball in. Horrible for Lee Dixon. He doesn't know what to do with it. My goodness. That was harder to do. Put it over the bar than under it, I have to say.
Lawa. Covering across was Grimondi, going with Da Rocha, who's a very mobile front man. Home fans wanting a decision in their favour from the Dutch referee then, nothing doing. The ball held up well by Thierry Henry. Dixon. Arsenal give it away again. The culprit that time was Ljungberg.
Arsenal haven't really started for me. Normally, particularly in centre midfield, when Petit and Vieira and tandem Martin are bossing the game, but they really haven't bossed this one.
Da Rocha. If he'd have struck it as cleanly from underneath the crossbar as he did then, it would be a 2-0 on the night for Nantes.
Well, this is ambitious. Taking something special to beat Alex Manninger from there. Yeah, and how he must wish his touch should have been surer moments ago.
Arsenal have never lost a European game by the sort of score which would put them out tonight. The biggest defeat, 5-2 by Spartak Moscow. That was at Highbury back in the early 80s, and even a repeat of that result would send Arsenal through on away goals. The measure of what the ask is for Nantes.
Give us a hell of a night's football, though, wouldn't it? A score like that. I'll take that.
Everybody would be happy, I guess. Arsene Wenger, even though it would have taken them through, as we speculate on scores, it's an Arsenal goal and we could not have extra time tonight. Only 3-0 to Nantes after 90 minutes would give us that possibility. Henry quite deliberately letting it run. And here's Mark Overmars. Overmars, who's been in such wonderful form recently. Off the goalkeeper, fortunately maybe for Nantes. Corner.
Well, he went past Sauvignon as if he wasn't there. He knew he couldn't tackle him, the central defender, or he was risking giving a penalty away. The one commodity that I didn't mention that Nantes are going to need is good fortune, Martin, if they're going to get back in it. By that, I mean that happening to them. A little block from Landreau, could have gone anywhere. Went to the safety of a corner.
In towards Petit, a little back header. Miss hit by Ljungberg, a non-hit in fact. Dixon. Tony Adams had got himself back on side. Sweet turn from the skipper. Arsenal's throw just past the halfway mark. And the first quarter of this game full of incident. That's a corner created by Kanu. So Adams virtually stayed forward for the last couple of minutes. He's in there again on the edge of the goal area. Back with Petit, the corner taker. Dixon. Adams just trying to muscle his way to deal with the cross positively for Arsenal. Now he's gone back post. The ball is with Overmars. Vieira. A lot of Arsenal players in there, including Grimandi. Well, that's an important goal for Arsenal. And Gilles Grimandi has suddenly, he calls himself a one-a-season man. He's got 2 in, what, 5 days?
Yeah, it's been the best piece of pressure Arsenal have had, Martin. In fact, the only piece of pressure the last 3 or 4 minutes. And it's wonderful footwork. Watch how he picks his feet through here. Maybe a little set here, but this was beautiful play. Aware enough to just flick it over the goalkeeper as he comes out, drags it wide and then slots it in beautifully. Wonderfully composed finish. Got caught, trying to push out, half in, half not. Didn't quite get it right.
Overmars. Arsenal will feel some order is restored. And Gilles Grimandi, who was telling us how he'd never lost a game on this ground. Well, he was playing in French football. He's done a bit to help Arsenal maybe keep that record going. And now, as we pointed out a moment or two ago, for Nantes to get through, 4-1 won't be good enough because Arsenal have an away goal. It has to be 5-1. The order gets taller and taller. But that suggested it'll be fun watching them try.
Yeah. Well, they've had 3 great chances in the opening 25 minutes.
Ljungberg. Here's Grimandi again, the unsung hero so often, a player who will just slot in where Arsene Wenger wants him. Doesn't complain, at least publicly, when he's not in the starting 11. They're going to find it hard to shift him now. They are a bit short at centre-backs. Martin Keown still injured, and Matthew Upson, as many of you will have seen on Saturday morning, picked up that injury that straight away looked as though it was a bad one, and that's unfortunately how it's turned out to be. Our best wishes to him. Carrière. Arosha, who's had a lot of involvement early on. Lembe is the young man who played at Wembley when he was 16 years old for Cameroon, setting a new record when he went on as a substitute that night against England. Sobieski pushing forward at every opportunity, into some space at times that De Rocha is leaving with his willingness to work the full width of the pitch. Carrier.
Interesting to see how they respond. The French side, Martin. Certainly the crowd are a touch quieter now. As I said right at the top, I think for them it's a case of winning the game and saying, yeah, well, we beat Arsenal here anyway. Well, we didn't go through.
Coming together there, involving Lee Dixon and Leroy. Lee, with all his experience, trying to suggest to the referee that a free kick to Arsenal was the proper outcome, but it is a throw. Berson. This is again De Rocha, setting off a little bit quicker than those who should be trying to cover him at the back for Arsenal.
Just overdoing it though. Just overdoing it. Got the half yard against Gremondi to cross the ball. Decided to go back and beat him again. And that time, Gunberg got back in as well.
Petit. Winterburn, Mark Overmars was making one of those little half movements with his body dropping the shoulder to suggest he knew where he wanted the ball to go, over the back for him to chase. Oh, De Rocha so nearly steered it through, and Sobieski had stolen half a metre on Tony Adams. Toure, Sobieski.
Well, he was unlucky, I tell you. There was a chance again there, Martin. Little ball through. Sobieski got on it. I'd fully expected it. We picked Carrier out. Well, this is a lovely little touch. Henry, I think, just lays it in beyond the defenders. They haven't come out on our line. Demwondu, very alert, very skillful.
I pointed out yesterday it was nice to be back in France, but please don't say that I'm homesick, because I really enjoy life in England. Certainly enjoying the professional side of his life with Arsenal at the moment. That was also a little dig at the comments, 1 or 2 quarters, about Thierry Henry, who's constantly being questioned about not settling under Arsene Wenger's guidance.
Well, I think those stories always rear an ugly head, Martin, when a player isn't playing particularly well. I think if Henry had arrived and taken the Premiership by storm, wouldn't be hearing anything of the sort. But when a player's struggling for form, as he was early on, starting to find bits of it now, then we're bound to get stories.
There he is, Thierry Henry, a couple of goals against Derby at Highbury, also scored in the eventual defeat on penalties Middlesbrough in the Worthington Cup. Kanu, Henry, could be another goal for him here. It is taken with great aplomb, and Arsenal were struggling. They were a goal down. It could have been worse, and now on the night they're 2-1 in front. Well,
it's just admire that Kanu's cheek, Kanu's skill, Kanu's ability. Watch this, you think he's got nowhere to go. Whoops, there you go, son. Takes his time, drills it beautifully. Thierry Henry, confident now, scoring goals, but what cheek from Kanu. Wonderful goal.
As if to say, what cheek from not to even suggest, to even put the thought in our minds that Arsenal might be in trouble here tonight. So the aggregate lead is 5-1.
Well, tie over, no doubt about that, Martin, but I still think there'll be some good football on show for us to enjoy.
Well, not no other way, but they just want to get down and play, and it's a question of how much they can get the ball off Arsenal now. They were doing that easily in the first 15 minutes or so. Comfortably easy for Arsene Wenger to consider. Made a magnificent save from Touré. Darosha put the ball over the bar from right underneath it. And Sibierski scored with a stunning shot following a free kick that moved the ball wide, so he got a better angle to strike.
Trouble with young players as well, Mark, is it's very, very difficult. You know, this is when you need a bit of experience to shake you by the scruff of the neck, keep you going.
Maybe it's Arsenal needed a touch of the French, didn't they? Grimaldi and Henry. Make sure there's no egg on Arsenal faces here. Sibierski. To Carrier and Darosha, very highly gifted technically and take up lovely positions to get the ball and usually use it well. Carrier couldn't trigger anything too potent for Nantes then. Vieira. It's Kanu's pass, but he's better when he's just chipping it up outrageously. It's a bit too straightforward that for him.
Nothing difficult about that pass, was there? That's why.
Besson, very much a Nantes novice. Sibierski. Comes off Touré, but it falls in midfield for Tony Adams. Henry. Chile. This is Leroy who gave away the penalty. Highbury. On these clearance, here's Leroy again. Just signed a new forward, Nantes, an experienced goal-getter with more than 100 First Division goals in the French First Division. Alain Cavella not eligible to play tonight or indeed in European competition for Nantes this season, if there is going to be any more of it. Of course, looks extremely unlikely. But an indication that even with the promising youngsters, they need somebody with a bit of experience around to take chances for them. Arsenal got plenty of it, and it's a Kanu. Good stop by Landreau. Overmars with the pass. Kanu's chance.
Yeah, they picked him apart, didn't they? I said earlier, I think Arsenal will, if they push forward, any men will be able to pick holes in their defence, and they certainly did that there with consummate ease.
Sibierski. Tenacious work by Ljungberg. Vieira, the better of Chile the second time, but Leroy stopped him. Ljungberg. This is Darosha. Grimaldi out of the middle. Carrier. Comes back to Darosha.
Well, put the players forward, 4, 5 in the box. Neat and tidy, they try to work their way through. Deflection could have taken it anywhere, but made it easy in the end for the goalkeeper.
Besson. Bustos, who virtually missed the whole of last season with a knee injury and hasn't played much this. Having to dig very deep into their own resources. Not, of course, the same to some extent applies to Arsenal. Carrier. Sibierski. Oh, Darosha!
Oh dear. Well, I've seen two great crosses here tonight. Both should have brought goals. Yeah, he's annoyed. That's a more difficult one, in all honesty, but good football, super build-up, and a fantastic ball in. Better connection yet again. But it's a chance, you have to say. Wonderful ball in. Only level with the back post, so the angle wasn't that difficult. A lot of his play's been good, Darosha. His movement's been good. His build-up play's been good. But his finishing's been poor at the moment.
Again, it was 1 against 1. It was Bustos this time. Dick's not quite sure maybe about the flight of the ball. But you just feel that Arsenal, if they play it right, and rather like the latter stages against Leicester, can just find their way through almost at will.
Well, I think if I was a front man or an attacker playing for Arsenal, I'd be really keen tonight, because there are chances going to be coming along in this game and you'd want to be on the end of them.
There's the face of frustration.
Well, if his touch had been as sure hitting the ball as it was hitting the post there, Mark, he might have a couple of goals to his name tonight.
Russia scored a goal here against Ionikos from Greece in the first round, the second leg. Also scored home and away against Inter Bratislava from Slovakia. But he's failed against Arsenal, particularly the first chance at a time when, my goodness me, that would have rattled Arsenal's cage. Olembe. Kanu. Came off Olembe. Vigilance there by Savino. Otherwise Henry might have been in again. Vieira, he might still be, because here come Arsenal with Ljungberg. Turns Leroy comfortably. And it's Henry. Savino got a touch. Lee Dixon is on the hunt again. And that is for Patrick Vieira. A booking, and yes, it's a suspension.
Oh, no. Oh, not another one.
It's his third European yellow card. He'll miss the first leg of the next round.
Well, it's got to wait till March then, Mark, so you might get a few games in between then and now and then, I mean.
Still got 3 games of his domestic ban to serve. Arsenal, we pointed it out at Highbury, and Arsenal have seen very little of Vieira and Petit together. They haven't completed a game together since you and I were at Derby in August, and Arsenal won that one 2-1. Petit scored, I think, his only goal of the season.
You know, a little bit more care. You can see chance after chance coming Arsenal's way. That again, Ljungberg, probably too much time, a little bit sloppy.
Sibierski. Russia went to London with Nantes, but wasn't able to train at Highbury the night before the game. He had a bad gash in the previous weekend's league engagement, and very disappointed that he couldn't take part. Certainly been in the centre of many things tonight, and all of them worked out well for him and his team.
It's been a decent first half of football, Mark. Been open, both teams showing good enterprise, lovely build-up play from both. 3 goals, numerous chances.
Henry. We've got a call or not, it wasn't the right thing to let it run. Tarosha. Leroy trying to be the joker in the pack, coming through the centre. It's like a move along the three-quarter line that the French are so famous for at rugby union. Overmars.
This is it, the 1v1s.
And it's Marc Overmars, unerring. A third goal here for Arsenal on the night with 3 minutes to go to half-time. He really is the man in form, Overmars. He's scored again for the Gunners.
And why not? He doesn't need to defend tonight, Marc Overmars. I said there are going to be big holes. They're leaving it 1v1 at the back. Look at the space he's got. So deep. And once he's turned past Sauvignon, he isn't going to catch him. It's impossible. He ain't quick enough. He just controls the ball, cushions it away from Sauvignon. And that's a wonderful finish across the face of the goalkeeper into the far corner. Really lovely strike. Exactly where you would want to put it.
Well, that's 8 for Overmars in a run of 6.5 games as we come towards half-time. Takes it to 9 for the season, second highest behind Kanu, who's got 10. I think there might be 1 or 2 more Arsenal goals to record tonight, unless, of course, they feel that the job has been done. They've been provoked into a very positive response by conceding the first goal of the evening here. And indeed, we complimented Nantes 2 weeks ago for the quality that they contribute in terms of football technique to this particular UEFA Cup third-round contest, and they've done it again here tonight. Vieira. Kanu. To beat the referee as well, that's no problem, but the pass is.
I'll tell you what this competition is doing, Martin. It's shaping up into a pretty formidable last 16.
And of course, eventually the Champions League goes to a knockout format. We shouldn't forget that. But there is the appeal of the way these games are decided over 2 matches, 2 weeks apart. Arsene Wenger looking totally impressed with life.
He's comfortable, Martin. There's nothing that should worry him now. This game is over. What his decision will be now is, well, his flag's going up. I don't know why. Offside. Strange one. But I think he's got decisions to make only as to whether he takes players off, rests certain players. 1 or 2 need games. Patrick Vieira, of course, needs a game, but you know, he's got other players on the pitch who may say, no, I'll duck you out second half or give you half an hour's rest and let someone else get a game.
Here goes Overmars again. Sauvignon trying to buy his side a bit of time. Goal kick.
You know, Vivas, Suka, Silvino, Hughes, Luzny, Barrett, all players who probably could do with a little bit more football. This is the kind of game, it doesn't happen often in a season where you can use a game and put people on comfortable that you're going to win the tie. You can certainly do that tonight and give people a little bit of football if he wants.
This one conundrum for him would be Patrick Vieira, who of course has this yellow card hanging over him, disregarding the suspension to come, but even what could happen tonight if he mistimes another tackle. But of course, as you pointed out, Vieira likes the action that he's not been getting domestically.
No, I think he needs to play. I think he'll stay 90 minutes.
Lewa.
You know, so open the game, Mark. There's hardly been a tackle in it. You know, both teams, it's been like a non-contact sport tonight. These teams have just been allowed to play in big spaces.
Landreau, with good judgment coming from his own goal. We saw him go almost to the touchline on the far side earlier in the half. But as Andy has stressed, it has been a really enjoyable first half to watch here in Nantes. It had a real essence of drama, as Arsene Wenger will have appreciated only too well right at the beginning. But Arsenal's French contingent, in particular, came good at the right time. Balls from Grimaldi and Henry after Sibieski had centre shots skimming past Manninger. This was it. And there were other chances either side of that could have given a real edge to the tail here in France tonight. But Grimaldi got that away goal for Arsenal. That made it 1-1 this evening. Kanu with that superb pass. And Thierry Henry, who's getting better and better in Arsenal colours. And Marc Overmars, well, everyone knows what he can do, and he's doing it very regularly for the club at the moment. So we reach half-time at Nantes with the score this evening, 3-1 to Arsenal. They are 6-1 up on aggregate. Rejoin us after the break. Yes, some not. This is down behind the left-hand goal. But the Nantes fans, I must say, have a reputation for good behaviour, and they are also connoisseurs of fine football.
Well, just looking down to see any changes. No, looks like the same again for Arsenal at the beginning of the second half.
Well, they won't want it the same as the beginning of the first half in terms of the way the game shaped up. But problems have been sorted. Arsenal, in getting these goals, have passed 50 for the season so far. They had 49 going into tonight's game. This is their 28th match, a run which began with winning the Charity Shield.
Well, we're a man short, that's why there's a slight delay. Nantes only have 9 outfield players on the pitch. Leroy just trotting back on now. We'll get on our way, I think. There's been a substitution, isn't there, Martin? I don't see Alembe, who played at right back first half. Don't see him out there.
Leroy has gone across to play at right back, and Lièvre, who is the first choice left back and has been out of the team through injury. They didn't want to risk him from the start tonight, but they're prepared in these circumstances to give him 45 minutes. Ljungberg, and we had a good view of that, Andy. Was offside.
Yep.
Thierry Henry. The first half scorers for Arsenal just joined us. They went one down through Sibierski. Grimond, Henry and Overmars have hit the target tonight for the Gunners. Here's Lièvre with the free kick, and it's Arsenal's turn to win an offside decision. This is the new man. Savino just got a touch, and otherwise Thierry Henry, who'd been watching from the blind side of the defender, would have just plotted that right. Trying to get in again. Cleared by Leroy.
They picked the flight of the ball from Manninger up very early. That's why he was always threatening the other side of Savino.
Lièvre. Trying to make sure that he didn't commit a foul. There's no need to go diving in. It's just a question now whether Arsenal are enjoying their evening's activities so much that they can maintain the momentum that they showed once they got going, or whether they'll settle for it. The point that we were making to you earlier about winning the match here tonight, not just going through, but winning the match has benefits for Arsenal in Europe, maybe next season. And we'll get points put on their record for whatever the result is here tonight. Of course, if they lose, they'll have no points. They'll have something, but they're not looking like losing, although Overmars is a little confused here. That sort of expression that we saw in a famous game against Sheffield United, but it was handball.
Just, yeah, the right hand comes up. Good spot for the referee. Well, there's hardly been a foul in the game, but I have to say Patrick Vieira's committed most of them. I think it's going to be extremely difficult, you know, Mark, for any player to get sent off tonight. I think that's the way the game's been played.
Henry. Lièvre. Oh, and They could have played it to Bustos.
Held the line. Arsenal looking to play them offside. Sobieski had gone early, the number 10, into an offside position. They ignored him and tried to play Bustos in wide on the left. But I think the game's decided. What we're going to see second half, Martin, depends an awful lot on just how much Arsenal want to go and impose themselves in the game. If they just want to kill it, they can do. Keep the ball. But I think if they show a bit of adventure, we could get much the same as we did first half.
Toure. Stopped by Winterburn. Nantes was sent tumbling. The referee did well because they didn't like the nature of the challenge. It's a rougher contact as we've seen, really. In from Sabino, who is carrying one yellow card this evening. Grimondi. Petit. Grimondi. Bustos waiting on the left. He's ahead of Lièvre. Lee Dixon's got him in his sights, and Arsenal able to tidy it up. Tony Adams, who knows this part of the world. England were based not far away from here during the World Cup. Flew to their respective matches. Glenn Hoddle had enjoyed the hospitality a year earlier. Let's hear from our man on the touchline, Jeff Shrees, who's got some news for us. Jeff.
Martin, when you and I were at training the other evening, Gilles Grimondi told us that he only gets 1 goal a year. I saw him at half-time. He's not getting too carried away. He simply said, well, it looks like 2 goals this year. As for Patrick Vieira, he said after his booking tonight, that's me again, you're not going to see me for some time. So as you can imagine, the Arsenal player's pretty relaxed.
Thank you, Jeff. Sabino. Sobieski, Toure. Well, they mustn't get too relaxed, the Arsenal players, as Toure, the angle was awkward.
Yeah, not quite sure how close this is, but I tell you what, looking at Alex Manning, I watch him, he's happy. It's going wide, never threatening. I think it's probably wider than it looked. Good strike, never really troubling the goal.
Well, Chelsea and Manchester United have been carrying the English flag so proudly in the Champions League. It's not been the same for the French clubs. Marseille are struggling. Bordeaux did get a point against Fiorentina, they're bottom of Manchester United's group. Arsenal waiting for Petit to take the corner, still keeping it as pretty much pre-arranged. They thought about taking it off the cuff. Vieira, Henry. Grimondi looking as though he's not settling for 2 for the season. He's up at the set pieces again. On his way back now. Toure showed too much of it to Winterburn. Sobieski. It's a weaving run from the non-goal scorer tonight. Almost ran on through for Darocha. And then Manninger's clearance, the flag has gone up against Henry.
He's looked decent, Sobieski, tonight, Martin. Lovely control of the ball. He's looks talented. Just a touch from Winterburn. Almost got Darocha in, but he's looked the pick of the bunch, Sobieski, when he's been on the ball.
Besson. Lièvre. Now Sabino. The spectators here are asked to pay between £9 and £35 for their seats tonight. Carrière. Now Gillet. Long ball by Leroy. Maninga with two alongside Tony Adams in Nantes colours then. Adams seemed to feel that all was well.
Well, normally a ball straight down the middle that high, Martin. Tony just comes and cleans it out, certainly against someone as small as Da Rocha, but he allowed him to win the header, and Carrière, who does like making runs from deep, almost got on the end of it.
Toure. Trying to whip it in early. Was a deflection. Maninga, let's see, was eagerly trying to prevent the corner. In doing so, he could have let the ball spill. Not sure Nantes have had a corner yet. They have got a goal. At least that will be something positive to take from flexing their muscles against the mighty Arsenal. Came out of the Champions League through some bad results and at times some bad fortune.
I think that's typified this Champions League and last year's as well, Martin. I think they've played better than what they've gotten so far.
Henri, Vieira. Overmars at jogging pace, getting to the edge of the area. Ljungberg's busy. Henri's on the ball. Vieira's got back onside. Arsenal keeping possession just because Da Rocha very nearly intercepted then. Winterberg. It's fallen to Overmars to lose it in the end. Sobieski. Antoine Sobieski played for Lille and then for Auxerre. Some good company then.
Drimondi just had a little word with the referee, Martin. He wasn't happy about this decision. I think it's a free kick. It's a clumsy challenge, but it's no more than that. But he decided to have a little word with the referee, who could easily have pulled out a yellow card.
He was booked in the first game. He's had the European caution so far. Petit. Kanu. Asking Henri to sprint, but Leroy had pace of his own. Again, Carrière makes turning with the ball look almost an art form. Leroy. Light and well balanced, touched back to him by Da Rocha. Kanu, of whom there was much speculation about a new contract and what it might cost Arsenal. Offside here.
No, I don't think he'll be held to ransom, Arsene Wenger, Martin. He's made his views pretty plain on wage structure at Highbury.
Da Rocha, Sobieski. Oh, he's done it again. 2 for Nantes, 2 for Sobieski. Both from good distance.
Well, I think that one's a better goal. I think it's a better strike because he's had to fashion it himself. It's a lovely move again. They get through a little too easy for me. But I thought he was going to shift it to Toure on the right wing. But he decides to dig it out. And it's a glorious strike. Postage stamp, little touch from Maninga, not enough to take it wide of the poster, above the crossbar, but oh, this is a wonderful goal. He's deserved it tonight. He's been their star for me.
Well, he's done it pretty much around the same point on the clock in both halves. It triggered all sorts of excitement in the first period. It might not quite do the same here. It's triggered a little bit of petulance between Bustos and Dixon. Ends in a hug and an entente cordiale. Sobieski is on a hat-trick.
Oh, he'll be trying. Got a little feather in his cap, yeah. Talking about the night Certainly he got a double against Arsenal, but if he's to pull another rabbit out of the hat, it'd be a pretty impressive hat-trick as well.
It's breathed new belief into Nantes. This is Lièvre.
Oh, hit it. Hit it, son. Again, too easy. You don't usually carve Arsenal up as easy as that. Direct run, a little 1-2 on the edge of the box. You usually have to work a little harder. But it's entertainment. It's what we're here for. As you stop, pull the trigger, son. You can see what he tried to do. Face it back across the goal.
Nantes have to score 5 more, incidentally, without reply to stop Arsenal taking their place in the last 16.
Well, tie's over. We're here to be entertained, and I have to say, players are doing a pretty good job of that.
Gillet. What that second Sobieski goal might do is produce the same response from Arsenal that the first did. Just starting to cruise a little bit.
Yeah, just a touch late. He just catches him with his trailing foot. He's a little unlucky, Besson.
Besson's second first-team game. The first was a 9-minute appearance as a substitute, during which he got booked. So he's 2 for 2 at the yellow card stakes.
Yeah, I've been enjoying this. Not a bad way to make the full debut against a team such as Arsenal. Experience for him and education.
Overmars. Familiar trickery. And the two in the middle giving him lengthy looks, rather after a bit of self-indulgence the second time, though. Sobieski. Russians had to hold to stay onside. Sobieski was aware of that and hung on to the ball himself.
He almost got through as well, Martin. He was unlucky. Arsenal very square, held the line, and he looked just to poke the ball in behind him and get after it. A little deflection took it into the path of Grimondi. Otherwise, he might have been there.
Little touch from Henri Overmars. No margin for error for Savino. Got that wrong, he'd have been off.
It's been a strange season for Arsenal. Yeah, that tackle there, good one, important one. There's the handball, just catches it. Darosha with the left arm. It's a good spot from the referee. Trying to control it.
The earlier booking for Mathieu Berson. Leroy then almost as nonchalant in his movement as Kanu, who's the player trying to nick it for Arsenal. And this is Darosha. Adams having to move into full pace to get there first. A little private game then with Grimondi. Besson, and not get it back well forward. Bustos, Toure. Got Carrier with him, of course Sobieski in the centre. Dixon heads it out. Leroy is there, half cleared by Petit, only as far as Savino. Nantes have a corner.
Is that their first?
I think the answer is yes. Nigel Winterberg. Toure. Handball by Ljungberg, not given. And Arsenal spring out.
Oh, chances.
Overmars. 2 up against 2 back. Oh, and Overmars, who could have gone on his own. And maybe others in his side were thinking that's what he was going to do.
Well, that's sloppy play, isn't it? You break like that, you get the little bit of luck on the edge of your own box. Handball not spotted by the referee. Here it is, edge of the box. Well, he might have been right when you see it, top of the shoulder there.
Certainly trying to get away from it, Ljungberg. Here's Carrier. Well, the good folk of Nantes and the surrounding areas have come out in good numbers tonight. Really, the bottom line for them, a chance to see Arsenal to perform here, and what they are getting is a very, very enthralling football match. Of course, Andy is right to say that the tie is beyond Nantes, but it's the gallantry that they're putting into their play and the quality that's come with it.
Well, Gilles, I don't know what he tried. I'm sure he tried to chip Manninger around the edge of the box as he went through there. It was far too far in front of his players that didn't suggest to me he was looking to chip them in. Silvinho, first change for Arsene Wenger. It's going to be Marc Overmars.
Changement pour Arsenal, sortie du numéro 11, Overmars.
It's getting a little chillier. It's by no means really European cold, but Silvinho, one of the boys over from Brazil, to a continent where the climate is perhaps not quite the same as at home. Well gloved. And the ball straight away, but not for long. Petit. Sibierski. He's gone for the pass, and Manninger stops the goal, but it's Touré following up, and Arsenal block it again. A combination of Winterburn and the goalkeeper.
They've had some chances this side, I have to say, Martin. I thought they were long gone and out of this, but what chances they've had in the match, and I don't mean half chances, I mean excellent chances, and that's another one squandered. Beautiful play from Sibierski here. This is quick stab again, but it's when it comes out here, the first touch from Touré. It's too far away from him. But look at Winterburn. Look at the goalkeeper. They were determined. They were blocking that. But Touré's poor first touch gave them a chance to block it.
The earlier chance was from Savino, who found himself in the central striking position, the centre-back.
I thought it was Darosha for him, and that's why I didn't want to mention him. Poor lad.
On the interception by Grimondi. 3-1 to Arsenal on the night at half-time. Nantes have scored in the second half. Another really eye-catching effort from Sibierski. Arsene Wenger will be pleased, I'm sure, to know that his former club of Monaco are also through in this competition. They've gone through 1-0 tonight, 3-2 on aggregate against AEK from Athens. Substitution for Nantes. On comes Samuel Fenila. His father also used to play for Nantes. He's on the ball straight away. Dixon. Andy, you said earlier about the quality of the clubs getting through. We're hearing all this news as this game develops. Deportivo La Coruña from Spain are into the last 16 of the UEFA Cup.
Oh, some nice places for you and I to visit next round, yes. No, now look, we'll get Steaua Bucharest. You watch us.
Henri. Savino. On from Sibierski. encouraged to mention again that should Arsenal lose another goal, that their European coefficient will be dented. The points that UEFA award for victories in all matches in European competition.
Tried, quickly tried. Tell you, you know the referee wanted to let it go, Martin. He wanted to try, but because the pass had taken De Rocha straight through, he felt he had to bring it back. Well, he doesn't fancy it, Sobieski, I wondered. Touch too far.
He's gone across where he's marked by Petit. He's made a movement off him, and
maybe he should have taken it.
Another reminder for you that Leeds are in action against Spartak Moscow, and also Newcastle are playing in the UEFA Cup against Roma. Those games are available to you if you want to watch them by pushing the backup button on your remote and just following the instructions then on. Fenila. Well, again, Arsenal finding themselves losing out in a situation where a bit of extra aggression was applied by Nantes. They got the free kick, they've got the ball to Touré.
It's a balancing act for Arsenal, Martin. It's playing the game and playing it properly without risking injury, anything stupid taking place. Another change Arsene Wenger's making.
Well, he's taking off another of the goal scorers tonight, Thierry Henry, for Davor Schuker, who has scored 8 goals for Arsenal in 9 starts for the club, but has not yet scored for them as a substitute, including an appearance from the bench against Nantes 2 weeks ago, and he's out on the ground where he got a World Cup goal for Croatia against Japan. And here is Schuker. Is it going to be his party piece? He's so good at those dipping shots.
What a first touch that would have been. Probably didn't fancy the run. 40 yards from goal, thought, off his line.
De Rocha. Fenia's little clip ball forward. De Rocha on the scene quickly again. They're almost fighting each other for the right to get to the ball. Nantes. Lièvre. Corner.
There are full marks to them. They've not stopped working and trying. They're not being marked. I thought maybe as they're so young they might just drop the heads when they went 3-1 down, but no. They've come out second half. They've tried to go forward. They've tried to score goals. They have gotten a brilliant goal from Sobieski, and they're still prepared to push forward looking for another.
Headed away by Ljungberg. Debris on the pitch now from the confetti that was brought by the fans to scatter as the teams came out. Temperatures are dropping, but some of the earlier rain, which was forecast again tonight, is happily kept away. Arsenal head straight for the airport from this game, and we'll be hoping there are no delays back into Luton.
Yeah.
Dixon. Hangs his head. Like a good pro has a look down to suggest that the pitch might have been responsible for the loss of accuracy. Touré. Another nice touch from Schuker at the back heel that time. Petit. Kanu.
Get the touch frustrated, I would guess. Few chances second half for Canu.
That wonderful hat-trick at Stamford Bridge becoming a distant memory with each passing game when he hasn't been scoring. Can't think for a moment that contract negotiations will be preying on his mind. He doesn't seem to be that sort of guy, but you never know. Schuker, Silvinho. It'll be an Arsenal corner. They'll be looking to have the last word here. Nicely placed third in the Premiership. 9 points up after 17 games this season compared to last. Scoring plenty more goals, although letting a few more in.
Yeah, it's been a strange season in that respect.
And they conceded 2 more in Europe tonight, but it doesn't look as though they're going to pay a heavy price for that. Winterberg. Silvinho. And this is Tony Adams, wide left, Schuker.
Oh, lovely tackle. Oh no.
Savino still didn't clear it decisively. And Adams tries to whip it across from the left again. Fenida. This is Toure. Adams is still just crossing the halfway line now. Schuker. Coming towards the time when Nigel Winterburn really got going as an attacking force 2 weeks ago. Ljungberg. Schuker in the penalty area for Arsenal. Silvinho's getting there now.
Surprised he got in his easy, I think, there. It's suddenly opened up in front of him.
Changement pour le FC Nantes Atlantique.
Marama Vahirua
Antoine Sibierski
is coming on. And I think that is definitely not admitting defeat. Sibierski, who has had a wonderful evening with 2 truly marvellous goals, gets the pat of congratulations from his coach Reynald Denouix. Plenty of handshakes along the bench as well. Tarosha. This is Vahirua. Toure, who spurned the chance to volley one a bit earlier. That was more difficult.
Pressure from Winterburn. Keeps his eye on it, but just at the last minute, you can see Nigel gets close enough. Lost his concentration, Toure.
Maybe our last chance to say a premature happy birthday to Nigel Winterburn, who'll be 36 on Saturday. The same day that John Lukic, who's on the bench here tonight, the Arsenal goalkeeper, will be 39. Yellow card for Leroy. Late tackle. Referee hasn't had a difficult job, it must be said, but he's been in the spirit of the evening. Nelson Vivas waiting to come on. Freddie Ljungberg was in pain behind the right-hand goal. And the last thing Arsenal need now, Gary Lewin would emphasise the point, is to pick up any unnecessary injuries.
Well, he's looks like he's struggling a bit. Ljungberg's hobbling about.
Silvinho's very much ready to come back on again, though. Vahirua. Adams trying to get there, but Vahirua scores scores a wonderful breakaway goal from another of these Nantes youngsters. A 19-year-old has sped away.
Look at him. Is he enjoying that? Well done, son. And he did speed away, didn't he? Ball over the top. I thought for a minute Adams was getting back at him. Pressure was there all the time on the youngster, but he kept his head and he's drilled it beautifully across Manninga. Oh, they scored 3 fantastic goals tonight, Mark. You'll remember that. What a strike, sir. Well done.
And now, in effect, they're losing by the 3 goals that they conceded at Highbury. 2 of those came very late on.
But again, that's uncharacteristic Arsenal defending for me. Martin, that would be, all right, ties over, no problems with that, but I guess Arsene Wenger's down there and he's thinking, you know, is it just the fact that we didn't have to be at our best? We were maybe mentally not quite 100%. He would not like the way they've defended at times tonight.
Vivas came on for Ljungberg. But they have got a wonderful production line here at Nantes. And Fahirua originally hails from Tahiti, and he's got a cousin who's a French international.
Well, 5 out the game here for Arsenal. Got
Carrier.
back. Vivas and Silvinho both managed to get back in. Good track in that.
Toure. And Toure. Just gone out. Vivas got the first foot to the ball.
Oh, he was quick there, wasn't he? One touch past Nigel and he was off. Just didn't get there, I don't think. Just went out. Yeah, just out of play.
Good decision from the assistant on the far side. Alex Manninger won't be happy.
No.
Despite the quality of the goals that have gone past him.
It's been like that for Arsenal, though. We started the season wondering whether Arsenal would cope with the absence of Anelka. Would they get the goals? They've answered that question quite emphatically. The goals have come and flowed. But the goals going in at the other end must be just a slight cause for concern. Nothing major, but they've been anything but watertight this season, the Arsenal.
Lièvre. Fahirua, new favourite here for the Nantes fans. Savino.
Cool catch that.
Well, they're going to need some of these youngsters, Nantes, because their position in the French First Division is in some jeopardy. They've never been relegated since they were promoted back in 1963. Fenila.
Well out. Something like this, Martin, would work wonders for them in the season. A result such as this are even better if they manage to get another. Manninger very quick off his line there, but something like that can turn the season round very quickly.
Petit. Seven minutes to go, and for the record, Nantes still need 4 more goals, but they have really made an evening of it. And Arsenal now trying to pick up the tempo again. They haven't really shown it at all in the second half, and they lose the ball rather easily. And here's Darosha and Toure. Adams having to hurry again.
Just gets there. Little toe on the ball from Toure. Tony committed to the tackle.
obstruction.
Well, they're up, aren't they?
One Argentine on another.
They're up. Lovely skill here.
Kanu having to come back to clear. It's another piece of very impressive control. Bustos. Schuker. Vivas. Lucky to get it back from Fenila. It took too long again. Rather symptomatic of Arsenal in the second half.
You just feel there's a whole set of gears that Arsenal have got there to go up had they needed them, Martin, but I don't think you ever want to go into a game and let 3 goals in.
Well, we started a couple of weeks ago, Andy, with Arsenal in the UEFA Cup, and there was a lot of criticism from them from the Champions League, and they didn't play well against Nantes at home,
no.
So there will be question marks after this particular game tonight again, when we see who they get for the next round and when it all starts again in March.
Yeah, well, I think by March, I think they'll be well in tune, well in focus. I think we'll see a more familiar looking Arsenal, shall I say. One that doesn't give too many goals away.
Giving away a throw there was Winterburn, who failed to obey the basics. Carrier. It's Fahirua again.
I have to say, take it in your chest. No, inexperienced, but Lee Dixon got under this ball. Now, if he just goes up, controls it on his chest, he can cushion it in front of him. He's going to strike it goal. Opted for the header. Just cushion it now. Look, bags of time. Control that in front of him.
It's Silvinho caught out by Carrier. Fahirua. And Loa. Well, Arsenal are very well thought of in the annals of French football. Before European club competition began in the 50s, Arsenal had been coming to France to play the famous Racing Club and special friendly fixtures for many years, and were seen as true ambassadors then. Darosha!
You might, as a neutral, think that he probably deserves to get the winning goal. The chances he's missed, a couple of gilt-edged chances he missed earlier. That's a much better strike, but it's never really threatening the goal, that narrow side.
Well, we felt at half-time we'd get more goals, and we've been right, but we in truth thought they would be coming from the English club.
Well, I certainly thought Arsenal would create more, Martin. But I mean, it's an awkward game. You can't express enough to people at home, Arsenal supporters. It's an awkward game for Arsenal to go into. It's there, it's over almost before they get here. 3-1 at half-time, it is well and truly over. So it's difficult to pick up the pace and tempo and really play as if it means it.
Toure. Out by Adams, cut up by Finia. Toure, challenged by Silvinho, slightly suspicious. Winterburn. Chile and Fahirua galloping into space. It's going to be an end product here and a winning end to this particular second leg for Nantes. Adams trying to say no, but Arsenal can't back up the skipper. Fahirua. Bustos. Sent tumbling by
Booking.
Grimondi.
He wins the booking here, doesn't he? He wins the free kick. He knows exactly what he's doing. Bustos, Grimaldi saying he's diving, and I think he did a little bit like Vieira first half, Martin. He invites the challenge here, then he's going over. But when you launch into it like Grimaldi did there and you don't get there, well, you can't argue when you get booked.
No Sibierski to take this free kick.
But plenty in there.
It's Loire.
Oh, it's poor.
Stayed in play. Toure. Darosha. He flings himself to the ground, but again, inviting the challenge. A very, very theatrical fall.
Good feet, yeah. I mean, he just get caught. Again, he's earning the free kick, he's winning it, he's tempting the tackle. Silvino a little rash with his, and this is an opportunity.
Loire, who opted to chip it in from the wider angle. Might have a crack this time. Bustos is there.
Must shoot, must hit it. Plumb centre.
Dying embers of the tie. It's Loire. Here's Lièvre underneath it. Well, tough going for Arsenal in the second half, and taking on board all Andy says about the difficult circumstances, particularly mentally. But Grimaldi with a blot against his record tonight. But I would really just like to say well done to Nantes, because they've made it very, very appealing, the match. They've made Arsenal at times look rather out of sorts, and they have scored 3 truly memorable goals. Arsenal managed 3 of their own.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it, I have to say, Martin. We arrived here at a ground where ties over as far as I was concerned. What would we get? Would we get a sterile game? Arsenal just play it out, maybe nick a goal and win 1-0. If it anything but with an open game. Lovely football, some poor defending at times, which has added to it. Some lovely finishes, and a side that, and Nantes, that even though they're out, weren't prepared to just let the game go.
Kanu. Bustos. And Vahirua!
Oh, what a block.
Well, that's just summed up the game.
It has.
Still Vahirua. Toure. It's been end-to-end entertainment. And in the second half, perhaps more to one end than the other.
Oh, it's been all Nantes, there's no doubt about that, second half. I mean, Landreau in goal for Nantes has been virtually a spectator.
It's a free kick to Arsenal when we're now expecting the final whistle any moment. It's going to be an exit for Nantes, but a most gallant exit.
Well, that would have been a story, Martin. Sibierski goes off and his substitute comes on and gets 2 himself. He was so close.
Well, that's the end of it. As a football match, it's been an enthralling evening. As a path into the last 16 of the UEFA Cup, well, it was a path that Arsenal were always expected to tread. There was a stumble early on. That was the real moment when Nantes must have felt they had a chance, when Sibierski got the first goal this evening. And there were other chances that weren't taken before Grimaldi scored for Arsenal and Henry and Overmars in quick succession. And at 6-1 on aggregate, It looked as though it might be a stroll in this particular park for Arsenal, but Fakhi Roua came on and scored after Sobieski had scored a spectacular second for himself and for Nantes tonight. And there's something in it, Andy, for everyone this evening.
Yeah, Jim Martin, I wasn't really that up about the game. I have to be totally honest before it started. I wondered what we would get. What we did get was a fabulous 90 minutes of entertainment. This is the entertainment business we're in now. Here, Sobieski's free kick, a glorious strike. And we wondered just for a moment whether, well, it was going to be. But then Grimondi, 2-2 now for him. Where is he going to go from here, I wonder? The cheek of Cano, Henry, and now happier, more confident, goal-scoring form. You don't catch Overmars 1v1. But then Sobieski's second, a gloriously struck shot from 25-30 yards. And then Vairua comes on, and well, a moment to remember for the 19-year-old. And he almost pinched a winner in stoppage time.
Well, let's get a reaction from the Arsenal camp from Gilles Grimondi, who's talking to Jeff Shreves.
Gilles, 6-3 on aggregate. It looked comfortable, but you must be disappointed to concede 3 goals.
Yeah, we knew that it was a hard game today, but we need 15 minutes to be sure that it was a hard game. And they tried to win this game, they attack, all the players attack. But most important for us is to go through and done it.
Let's bring in Lee Dixon. Lee, in some ways, was it a problem going into the game, winning 3-0 already?
Yeah, it shouldn't be. Obviously, we're not pleased to give 3 goals away. It's never easy when you're 3-0 up, obviously. It's a lot easier than if you're 3-0 down. But it's a funny old game, you know. You go into a game like this, and then we go 3-1 up. Sloppy defending all round, really. And we're not very pleased with the performance, but we're through, so that's all that counts.
In some ways, did their goal provoke you into coming out and playing?
Yeah, I mean, they had a few good chances first half, and it was difficult. They put us under pressure. We knew they would. The pitch wasn't very good, and there's a lot of players slipping around. And you know, great game of football for TV and the supporters. Everybody enjoyed themselves, and we've gone through. So more of it, eh?
Gilles, 2 goals in a week. What's happening?
It's Christmas, I think, but I scored more this week than in 2 years. But I'm very happy, and it was a good day for me.
And a great goal. You took it like a centre forward.
I had a chance and I scored, and that's all.
Lee, how important was it to you to get this tie over with, and you can forget about the UEFA Cup now till March?
Yeah, you know, we've got a lot to concentrate on. We've got the FA Cup round the corner. We've got league games coming up. Very important time, Christmas time. So we can put this one away, as you said, and look forward to the draw, and hopefully pick up some points and go on a consistent run like we have been, but not give goals away like we did.
Anyway, you're through. Well done tonight, boys.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's have a look at the match facts for you. And look at that, 31 attempts at goal and 20 of them on target. It was a thrilling evening of football, and football played in the right way as well, despite, as Lee Dixon articulated there so well, Arsenal's disappointment with some of their sloppiness. They didn't have a shot on target themselves in the second half. 1 or 2 more tackles went in as Arsenal got frustrated in the second half. 5 bookings in all, the big one from the Gunners' point of view, the loss of Patrick Vieira for the next European game. It's a 1-game ban for picking up his 3rd European caution this season. Well, Andy, as he's been saying at the end of the commentary, you're very pleasantly surprised. Yeah. I'm sure the die-hard Arsenal fans were getting frustrated at the end, though.
Yeah, I think so. But I mean, I think that, in all honesty, when I enjoyed watching the game, I think that Lee was absolutely right. Some sloppy and uncharacteristic Arsenal defending, but some wonderful finishes. You have to give credit where credit is due, Martin, because Sobieski's 2 strikes were absolutely glorious, almost unstoppable, I would guess. And for the young 19-year-old Vairua to come on and score a goal of the quality that he did, yeah, you have to admire that. What the build-ups to them could have been prevented, I guess, and Arsenal could have made life more difficult for them. But that was the nature of the game, and it started early. They didn't go at the game daft and stupidly. They were very controlled in their build-up. But they got men forward when they could. Could easily have been a goal up there. Touré and Carrière both guilty of missing great chances. And then, although they squared, they get the first goal, and you wonder, well, where are we going from here? And then this is the chance, Martin, that well, didn't decide the match, but it certainly made Arsenal's 90 minutes a little easier, because had that gone in 2-0, then even Arsenal might have been a little twitchy, you just don't know. But they've found a new goal scorer, another Frenchman, no, not Anelka, it's Grimaldi to get the goals, and Henry joined in the fun. And I think you felt then, and we all did, that there was no way back really in the tie for Nantes. And when this went in just before half-time, a couple of minutes.
He made that look really easy, and it was very difficult.
Yeah, he did it. That's the way it was for Arsenal at the time, and I had said after him I predicted more opportunities for Arsenal second half, but it didn't happen. And that is mainly down to the way Nantes set about it second half with great freedom. This is not Brittany feigning, as you can see. There are people all over the place that are getting picked out. But for another wonderful save there from Alex Manninger, you know, Arsenal might well have lost the game and could easily have lost the game. But then the one ball over the top, they're awfully high, Arsenal. But Bayrou, when he got in, I thought Adams had got him. Good strike.
Adams thought he got him as well, I think. So Arsenal are through, but remember tonight, Leeds still in action against Spartak Moscow. Newcastle play against Roma. Those games still going on, and they are available to you by pushing the backup button on your remote and following the instructions. Let's join Jeff Shreves again, and he's talking, as you can see, to the Arsenal manager, Arsene Wenger.
Well, Arsene, you're through, but what did you make of that?
It was like the first game, a little bit weird, because they could have been 3 up after 15 minutes, after we felt that you could score goals every time we had the ball nearly in the first 45 minutes, and I felt that in the second half we just stopped to play, and they dropped a little bit physically, but they were always dangerous. I think it's a good team, but they just they have a great football culture here, good technique, good movement, and they're just no experience and a little bit too young. But when I said that they were one of the favourites to win the championship this season, we have seen tonight that they have the quality.
Early in the game, how anxious were you on the sidelines?
I thought always after the first minute where you could score, and so I thought even if it's 1 or 2-0, I believe we could come back. But we were as well surprised by the field, because they looked like they were more used to play on it. It was very deep, very muddy, and very difficult to play quick passing, but they did it well.
Were you disappointed about the amount of chances that they created for themselves?
Yes, we had the luck. You could see that it's not easy when you lead 3-0 in the first leg to have the right concentration, and when you were scared a little bit with 1-0 down, we woke up and scored and went up 3-1, but after that we thought again at half time that it's done, and football teaches you always a good lesson.
I'm sure you're pleased that Patrick Vieira got a game in, but another booking, it means another suspension. What do you think now?
But anyway, he needed to play tonight, because it's too long. He's out for too long. You could see that they missed the games, Ljungberg and him. But I thought it was an unfortunate yellow card, but he got it, so the next game will be suspended.
Anyway, you're through now. What sort of shape do you think the next round will take in March? How serious does this competition get now?
Very serious now, because you have only big teams who are involved now, and I believe as well that for us it was the first round, and we'll see how strong we are in March.
Well done tonight.
Thank you.
Let's tell you what's coming up for you on Sky Sports. Friday night, Nationwide Division 2, Brentford against Chesterfield, Sky Sports 2. FA Cup highlights on Saturday at 6. Chelsea go from the Olympic Stadium in Rome to Boothbury Park. And then it's Seville against Barcelona, Spanish football Saturday at 8, Sky Sports 1. On Sunday, Andy and I will be at White Hart Lane, the only all-Premiership tie in the third round of the FA Cup. That's Tottenham against Newcastle. And Andy's first club, Dundee United, in the Tayside derby. Sky Sports 1, Sunday, on air at 5:30. And more Spanish football from Sky Sports Extra, Atletico Madrid against Valencia. And on Monday night, back to the FA Cup, Ipswich against Southampton, plus the best action from Arsenal's FA Cup tie against Blackpool, which has been moved to Monday as well. Well, that's it from Nantes. Arsene Wenger says it was, in the end, a little bit weird. But Arsenal are through. Until the next time, from Andy and myself, a very good night to you all.
one cares. Time is money. We're taught to take.